Joyce. I'm currently a sophomore at Penn, and I am a lover of cats. I am a collector of chapsticks and hand creams. I am an avid watcher of Teen Wolf. My favorite food is eggplant, and I am an ESFJ, for those of you that know Myers-Briggs. So I just easily rattled off 5 facts about me, but I think my biggest struggle in college, freshman year, was my identity. And senior year of high school, I knew who I was because everyone knew who I was. Freshman year of college, nobody knew who I was, so I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who my friends were, what my major was, whether to party or not, or if I was going to be single my whole life. I still don't know some of these things. At the end of my freshman year, I decided to write a 10 things they never tell you about freshman year rant, ready to expose the dirty truth about college. So here are some of my top points. Number 1, college is not always awesome 24/7. In fact, it's pretty mediocre most of the time. Number 2, never trust social media. While people may look like they're having fun, if they were really having such a good time, would they really need to be Snapchatting about it? Number 3. Number 3, it's pretty lonely out there. Learn to spend time by yourself. Number 4, you're probably going to eat meals by yourself at the dining halls and feel like a loser. Here's a tip. Find the corners where no one will notice you. Number 5, this is my last one. You probably peaked in high school. Sorry. And yet, as I kept writing, I found myself telling another story. That despite the late nights on the phone, crying to my high school best friend, or the many times I bombed those Math 114 midterms, or the daily pity parties I had for myself, that my freshman year was still good. Good, not because there was an obligation to be fine or good all the time. I certainly was not good all the time, but because God is good, and that means that everything He has given us is good. His timing, His placement, His people that He surrounds us with. He brought me to my first FNL to remind me that even as everything around me changed, He stayed my one constant. He humbled me through my academic and social struggles to teach me to always lean on Him. He gave me this church community to show me that He is my refuge. He is where I truly belong, and He is whom I should devote my time to. And as much as some aspects of freshman year suck, I wouldn't have traded my experience for any other, because I know that if God doesn't withhold a single good thing from us, and if He is so very intentional with what He gives and what He takes, then what I had was only the very best, and every moment and memory was meaningful. If God is the all-powerful God that He claims to be, and if His thoughts are so much higher than my thoughts, then all my troubles then and now are so trivial in His very big and good plan for me. Part of His big and good plan for me was probably GCC, and I hate being alone, and I remember first week of freshman year, I would always eat lunch alone, and it was very sad, but I came here on my first Sunday, and suddenly I found myself eating lunch at Okada with this huge group of Asians, and I was like, whoa, where did all these friends come from? Another thing was I hate studying by myself, and I remember the senior named Karina would constantly reach out to me to study with me, and I was like, why is this senior who is doing so well, has all these other friends trying to study with me, this lowly freshman? But yeah, it was super meaningful to me. Back to the script. I know the correct answer to my identity crisis would be identifying myself as a child of God, but honestly, sometimes I don't see myself that way. What's so great is that that's how God sees me always, no matter how I see myself, that in my weakness, He's made strong. So even when I don't know how to identify myself, I cling to the truths that I do know. This is the last paragraph of my 10 things they never tell you about freshman year rant. But what I have to know, what I have to trust in, is that no matter what, God is good, and so my freshman year was good. So good. Good in every way possible. And when I think back on it, I had great experiences. I studied hard and was so humbled by my grades. I made deep friendships. I've gone out and had my awkward moments. I've really grown in my faith and learned to take ownership of it. What a blessing my college church has become. What a home it has provided me to grow. What a wonderful community of brothers and sisters who are always so rooted in their own faith and are so broken and in need of Jesus in their own ways. What great mentors to look up to and partners to run with and friends to confess to. What a great tradition of love is carried in this church, and what an honor it is to become a part of that. I started out writing this to tell people that college can suck sometimes, but the more and more I reflect on my college experience, the more and more I can only think of the wonderful ways that God has so abundantly provided in my life. That out of his love, he has looked down on me with mercy and grace, and as much as I complain and worry and compare and talk and talk and talk, he is perfect in his stillness and so much more than enough. Thank you.